I told you. Shit!
What the fuck's going on?
Walter!
What the fuck is
He
going
hung
on?
up, man! You fucked it up! You fucked it up! Her life was in our hands, man.
Easy, dude.
We're screwed now. We don't get shit. They're gonna kill her. We're fucked, Walter.
Nothing is fucked, dude. Come on. You're being very undue.
Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb. Black Betty had a child. Bam lamb, the damn thing gone wild. Bam lamb said a word not of mine. Bam lamb, the damn thing gone blind. Bam lamb said, oh, Black Betty, bam lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Simicast. Well, if you heard in the first clip, Walter Sobchak tell the dude, nothing is fucked, dude. Nothing is fucked. And I think that's what all Florida State fans need to kind of tell themselves. Derwin James injury news broke today around 9 o'clock this morning. And so far it appears that there's some good and some bad. Jimbo Fisher was on the Jeff Cameron show Sunday night, and he said, quote, he'll miss some time, unquote. So that sucks in the short term because you're playing number 10 Louisville this Saturday. Lamar Jackson's a dual threat quarterback, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country. Derwin James likely would have spied him most of the game and probably done so fairly well considering James is just an athletic freak. And then the bright side is it doesn't appear to be season ending. It's rumored that it's not an ACL tear. Maybe it's some kind of MCL deal. He could have some kind of minor surgery today and then miss a couple games. So where do the Noles go from here? A lot of the writers on the various websites are pointing to A.J. Westbrook stepping in. He was a 4-star recruit out of high school, has some time spent at safety, and FSU cross-trains a lot of their players anyhow. And if there was one spot on the defense the Noles could afford to lose, even though James is not replaceable, don't get me wrong, but the one unit on the defense that could take a hit would be the secondary, because they're absolutely loaded with 4- and 5-star guys that can step in. So you'll probably see a rotation. Westbrook will play. Lewis, who's already played quite a bit already, will probably be on the field even more so. You could maybe even see Trey Marshall perhaps spy Lamar Jackson. Marshall's very athletic, very fast. We'll see. My confidence level in beating Louisville has dropped, obviously, with losing James. Just one of the best safeties in the country. Athletic freak. I still think FSU could win, though. I still think they can win. They have enough on defense, and I actually don't respect Louisville's defense all that much. I really don't. So I think FSU could still win, but now I'm going to go ahead and call it a coin flip. I mean, Tomahawk Nation always puts out the spreads, and that's kind of what the Vegas spreads are looking like. It's basically a coin flip. I think the Noles were fortunate that it is a noon kickoff, because obviously if it was at night, a little more pressure on a redshirt freshman quarterback playing his first true road game at night, not to mention it being at noon. There's obviously less time before the game for all the Louisville fans to get wasted, so it should be a little less of a rabid crowd. I'm sure it'll still be rocking, game day will be there, so on and so forth, but the noon time I think actually helps the road team here. But good Lord, FSU just hasn't had good injury luck so far this year. No season enders yet, except for, George Campbell, a third-string receiver. He's out for the year, which is kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to see him maybe get some play. But no, big-time starters out for the year yet. But other than James, they've had Kareem R. miss the first 2 games. He's the starting left guard. Although it was just Charleston Southern, it didn't matter. The right guard, Wilson Bell, missed last game. Eberle had to deal with migraines before the season started. Just a slew of little injuries here and there where it's fuck, this team, like most teams that are hopeful of winning a national championship, they need some injury luck. A lot of people like to point out the 2013 team. One, they were an elite team, one of the all-time great teams, one of the best teams I've seen in my 25 years as a fan. Not just Florida State, but college team in general. They're probably one of the top 3 or 4 best teams I've seen as a college football fan. But anyways, I lost my train of thought there. They need some injury luck. That's what I was saying. Teams that want to compete for a title, and the 13 team had a lot of good injury luck. I think the offensive line. I think the starting 5 started every game. Like insane type of luck there. And right now, FSU's been a little unlucky with some guys missing time. And the big topic, other than James missing time and what injury does he have, is why was he playing in the second half versus Charleston Southern? All right, and I initially thought that because I wasn't really paying close attention to, um, how often Charleston Southern had been on the field, so forth and so on. But after the game ended and reading some articles about the Derwin James injury, it made a lot of sense. It made more sense than you think for James to be out there. One, it was a short week, having played Ole Miss on Monday and having to turn around and play Charleston Southern Saturday. So practice time was very limited. So believe it or not, these guys need reps. Even if it's in game, they need reps. And Jimbo said his plan after halftime was to have the starting defense play just 2 series. He didn't like the couple blown coverages they had. One allowed Charleston Southern to score a touchdown. And so he wanted to get him back out there in that situation just to get a couple more reps because they needed it with the short practice week. And they needed to clean up the blown coverages. And so I didn't blame him for putting him out there. And then also when you consider that I think he got hurt on Charleston Southern's 31st offensive play, which is not a lot of plays. I mean, that's probably less than half the plays they ran or a team generally runs. So it's not like he was out there playing his 50th snap of the game or something. No. It was kind of a freak thing. It was actually on another blown coverage. He was coming over there to save the fucking day and hit the receiver that caught the ball. The receiver that was wide the hell open. And it's just a freak thing, man. He could get hurt any game. And it's just the timing sucks because it's Charleston Southern. In all likelihood, that series might have been his last anyways. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man. And then going into the game, that's all I'm thinking. Just like with scrimmages in the fall camp, like no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no injuries. And boom. Not just an injury, but to possibly their best player on defense. One of the best safeties in the country, as I said before. So we'll find out at 1 o'clock more details. Jimbo Fisher does his press conference at that time. Knowles 24/7 reached out to James's dad, and he didn't say much except, quote, James will be fine, unquote. So pretty ambiguous, not anything really to glean from that. But hey, it does sound like it's not super long term, so guess you can hang your hat on that. I can't wait till the game Saturday. I may do a preview if I have time. It's kind of a busy week with school and shit, and take care of the old daughter. But maybe I can squeeze in some kind of preview. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I remember last year's game at Doak. I think it was close for a little while, and then FSU just started to pull away. And I felt like they actually contained Jackson pretty well. But apparently he's improved his throwing motion, so perhaps he's a little bit better of a passer now. And of course, James probably shadowed him last year, so that probably helped contain him a little bit. But it's not going to be an easy task. It's not going to be an easy task. And this weekend's games, other than Florida State's, is pretty damn good. So if you have nothing to do this Saturday, this is what Jeff Cameron likes to call a park your ass Saturday. It is. I think there's 4 or 5 ranked matchups. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I know Ohio State and Oklahoma play. Let's see, Ole Miss, Bama, and there are some others I can't think of. But yeah, I don't have any big plans. So yeah, I will be watching as much college football as I can this Saturday. And I suggest you do the same because it should be pretty wild. Hopefully the Noles can, find some kind of answer for James's absence. Like I said, they if they lose, it won't be because of James not being on the field. they still have the talent. They still have more talent than Louisville does. Louisville is a very talented team. They returned a lot of players. Petrino, although he's a huge scumbag, is a good coach. And although the recruiting rankings aren't like ridiculously high, since Petrino's got there, they've gotten some pretty big time like SEC. Almost said SEC normally, can't do that. Yeah, they got some pretty big SEC transfers. So they're a squad to be reckoned with. Even before the season started, there was a few pundits that were pretty high on them. I mean, I guess it showed. They were ranked in the preseason, but they've shot up all the way to 10 quickly, with all the ranked teams in front of them losing and other teams performing poorly. But this is not just your old Louisville team from a couple years ago that FSU can just run roughshod over. This should be a game, and without James, it just made it a little tougher. Anyway, let you go. If you're Twitter, get on your Twitter feed around maybe 10 minutes after 1 o'clock. You'll probably, if you follow any FSU people, you'll probably start seeing updates from Jimbo Fisher's press conference, know more about James's injury. But for now, it doesn't appear to be too serious. So hopefully nothing is fucked. Nothing is fucked, dude. And we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Hopefully no one else gets hurt before the game. All right, well, thank you for listening. If you're a first-time visitor to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. And this has been another Florida State Semicast.